Now we have to talk about the potential situation with our manager, Jake. So, it's literally one thing after another, isn't it? So, from what everybody understands, the media, us, it looks like Danny RÖHL he's digging in his heels.
Let's put it this way, he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, and he's not returned.
No.
For the start of pre-season, he's not returned. And there is talks, apparently, about seeing an exit for Danny RÖHL from the club. However, that will be, happening. How those negotiations will happen, we don't know. But it looks like they are exploring an option. And do you think it's about time, Jake, that we sort this out? Obviously.
I think it's time to get it all sorted. You've got a man who obviously doesn't want to be here for whatever reasons. It's been the whole situation. Last season we had it. Is he going to stay here? I think the thing for me, people are going to say, yes, why would he stay here when he signed a 3-year contract? But he signed a 3-year contract. This is how it works. I think he was expecting people to come in and get him. People looked and then they've seen how much the compo is and gone, not touching that. Sorry, Danny. Knife blow, like your idea, you've done well in the interview, but we're not paying that. And the thing is, the whole Danny RÖHL thing needs to get sorted. So there's some kind of instant that there's a slight little sense of normality. Just who the players report to, who's going to do this, who's taking this, done. Because we still got to think. On Monday, the coaching staff are on their last day of work for Wednesday. Their contracts are up on the 30th of June.
And this is the other thing. We might already have a ready-made manager there.
Yep.
In Henrik.
Yep.
Who is wanted by other clubs as their manager.
Yep. And by the sound of this, he was at pre-season training.
Yeah, he turned up. I think he was running this. He was running pre-season. I think there's your man. I can't believe I'm saying this. Do you know what I would do? If we can't negotiate an exit, I think we should negotiate an exit now with Danny RÖHL for something like he buys out his contract for £1 million, or somebody buys out his contract for £1 million. Take the 5. I'm sick of it. Or place him on gardening leave and appoint Henrik as manager.
You can't afford it. Gardening leave, you still pay him.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't afford it.
That's true.
The only way it'll work is if he turns around and goes, I quit, and resigns. Yeah. Or it's a mutual consideration or whatever they call it, mutual agreement, and he walks away and he found a way to pay himself out. That is the only way. The only thing he can hope for now is that Leicester in a world of mess at the minute, but they just sort of Ruud van Nistelrooy say, we're going to take the risk, we'll pay you $5 million. But they're not financially in the position to be able to do that either.
No. I genuinely think like you even just release him and say, look, there's $1 million. The next club that takes you has to pay us $1 million, but you're gone. But that's such a weird deal. I don't think he'd take it. The
problem is with the way Chancery's going at the minute, I could just see him going, right, I'm sticking you outside Middlewall Road with a sign around your neck saying free to go home because I can't get rid of you. While I'm at it, I'm going to put one around me as well and go, I'm free to go
really disappointed in Danny, by the way. I am.
Yeah, I think we all
I understand this. I understand the situation. And I also understand the fans that are on the internet saying, oh, well, you wouldn't if you'd not been paid. As far as we're aware, Danny's been paid now.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that, but whispers are that Danny's been paid. There's other people that haven't. And it's a case of why would the players turn up? Barry Bannon is out of contract soon. He's not been paid. And he turns up. Henrik turned up.
Windass, Iorfa, Bailey, Jan Valerie's there today. All of that.
The players turned up, right? Because the players know the club has these supporters And yes, they might be able to walk and do things legally, but at least they're doing things the proper way, right? Some of them might be like, right, if I don't get paid this month, I can have my notice in, right? Which they can. They can hand the 14 days, 15 days, or whatever it is in football. They can hand that notice in. But they're doing things properly. They've turned up. And Danny hasn't. And I'm really disappointed in the way that's going because it's letting the supporters down. And actually, I'm at a stage now where I kind of want to cut my losses with him and appoint Henrik.
Yeah.
And do you know what's annoying? He gets what he wants from that, Jake. But do you know what's really annoying? If Tranmere had got this club in a position financially, we wouldn't be in this situation because you could chuck Danny on gardening leave if you behave like this.
Yep.
You could chuck if Tranmere was fulfilling his obligations and we were a well-run financial club, you could put Danny on the naughty step. Right?
So on the 14th of June, Yorkshire Live Dom Howson said that, hang on, some members, non-footballing staff for May have now been satisfied. Coaching and backroom staff have also been paid in full for last month.
Yeah. So Danny's been paid. And he's not turning up. So now he's I assume he's breaching contract.
There's your sackable offence, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can sack anyone for anything in football, but employment rights aren't the same in football, I don't think. But it's just a mess, Jake. And I actually want Henrik. I think I want Henrik to be our manager now because the players seem to respect him.
Right. What I want is continuity. If that means Henrik's staying and you've got the continuity with all the stuff that's going on right now, take it.
Can you? Right. The thing is, though, I think the player respect will still be there.
Yeah. This week, Sal Babbo was linked with a move up to Rangers to be their goalkeeping thing. You might have to bring a new goalkeeping coach. There are people who are turning up here who are Wednesday through and through, or who are there are people who are working who are non-playing staff who turned up and carried on working when they weren't getting paid.
Yeah, those are the ones that are the unsung heroes. You know, like they've kept the club running. Like the media admins are there and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that have been going through.
It was so funny, and not in a funny but in a funny kind of. The Carabao Cup sponsored post would go up for like a minute. Like, yeah, we're not voting that. That's getting deleted.
Yeah, it's
like,
just. I actually quite like the idea of, with all the stuff that's going on, there's a positive in Henrik being number one and Powell being number two.
If Powell stays.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think you can dig something out from that. Because I remember Windass doing that podcast where he was talking about that Danny does a lot of off the ball stuff. Henrik does the on the ball stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. Danny's the manager, but Henrik could do it, obviously, because he's got the chops for it, and he's not disrespected the club in this way. I think deep down, even though they understand, I think a lot of the players will have lost respect for the manager in a regard that we have as fans.
Yeah,
that you would, because it's like, hang on, we roll in this together, like what that talk of togetherness and that fight when we did the Great Escape season. And now we're here and you're not. I don't think that's a leader, Jake.
No.
And actually, I think Danny is harming his stock in that regard.
I think there's a lot of clubs who are looking at him now going, well, if you're not willing to fight for that while you're in contract, why should we hire you?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he thought this would go very differently. I think we all probably did.
Yeah.
And there was a point where he would have been worth the £5 million release clause.
100%.
But now I don't think clubs will take the risk given the situation he's been in.
Yeah.
Especially because I think any dressing room he goes into now, they'll be like, are you going to fight for us?
Yeah. It just screams pettiness now because you've not got your way.
Yeah.
And
I understand working for Tranmere must be a nightmare, but all the others.
Yeah, but you can work for Tranmere and do it in a dignified way. Darren Moore did it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think he's probably going to get his way. I think with the financial situation we're in, unfortunately, I think he's going to get out, and we're not going to get much from it, if anything, to be honest. But
and again,
we'll see
will have a go at DC. But to be fair, he did the right thing by putting a release clause on RÖHL's head. That is the right thing to do. The
one thing I don't agree with is I will have a go at DC is the fact that I've already stated it in this part is we should be in a financial situation where we can protect our assets like this, and if a manager does behave like this, we can put them on gardening leave, we can sanction them, we can.
QPR did it.
Yeah,